In this video, we're going to go over how to fill out a vehicle test report. We are going to use the method of using a test truck to check the sections, and we'll produce some other videos later with weight buggies and so forth and so on. But as of right now, we're just going to show you how to fill it out using the test truck to run the sections. Okay, what you want to do first is you want to go to wherever you've saved your folder. Mine's here in the truck scale folder, and there is my A+ stuff. That's what I've just downloaded. So I'm going to open it up to fill it out. Let me get rid of some of this stuff and enlarge it a little bit. Alright, just like in our last video on how to download the report, you just want to check this real quick and make sure your address and location and everything is the correct one. And I'm just going to go through and fill it out. The commodity weight on the scale is actually just what they're weighing. So let's say this place is a rock quarry or something. We're going to say he weighs rocks on it. Okay. Next, we're going to move over here to the date area. This is going to be the date that the inspection was performed. So today's date is 11/12, so I'm going to put 11/12/16. Here is where you put your county numbers. You can put it in. There's a form on our website, agi.alabama.gov, and there's a download there to give you the form of all the county numbers. I'm just going to use County 101. That's Montgomery County. And then tested last. This is the date that's on the sticker of when it was tested last. We need to at least know the month and the year, because that's what's going to be on the sticker. But if you were the last one to perform it, you might even know the date. But we're going to just say 11/2015. Okay, the site ID number. This is the number that is on the device registration form that's supposed to be posted. On the bottom left-hand side, you'll see a barcode number. That number is the device ID number. It has to start with a 4. If it is not a 4, it is another certificate of some sort, but it is not a device ID number, and you will not be able to upload the report without that correct number. Even if it's expired, it will not let you upload it. You need to make sure before you go out there that they have a device registration and that it is current. Alright, the next is going to be the indicator information. This is going to give you the information, tell you what kind of indicator it is. I'm just going to use Rice Lake. That's a pretty well-known manufacturer. I'll call this the Plus 3000. Serial number, just the serial number off the indicator. I'm just going to make up a bunch of numbers here, but you need to get that off of the indicator. Some of your old indicators will not have it on there. Definitely if the tag is worn out or sun faded or something like that, then you just put NA there. The graduations, most of your truck scales will be in 20 pounds. There will be a difference. You can do it a couple of different ways here. You can say 20. If you don't put any pound indicators or put the word pound or anything, we're just going to go ahead and automatically assume that it's in pounds. But I always like to put a little indicator in there. Then your next is going to be your type. Now, this is strictly just the indicator. You need to know if it's a beam, dial, or electronic. I'm going to go with electronic. That's typically what most of them are now these days. There is a lot of them out there that are still dial and beam, but that's what we're going to go with right now. The nominal capacity, most of them are going to be right at 120,000 pounds. I like to put LB in there, but once again, you don't have to. We'll just assume that it is in pounds. Now your section capacity is just the capacity of each section. Some of them will be in tons, some of them will be in pounds. Once again, if you do not specify, we're going to assume it's in pounds. And so this one is in 50 tons, so you need to put ton because 50 pounds is not a good capacity. Printer type. You have computer, printer, computer with paper, or none. You know, a lot of them are connected to computers. We'll just go with a printer, just a standard printer. Now the next is for the deck information. That's where all the weighments are going to be placed. The trucks. That's what the trucks roll across to get weighed. All right, we're going to say the make is an old Howe scale. The pit depth, we're going to say it's 4 foot. Once again, if you don't put any indicator, you just were to put 4, we'd just assume that it was feet. So if you're measuring it any other way, meters or something for some crazy reason, then you need to put that in there. Model, I'm going to say NA. A lot of the old Howe's data plates may not be on there anymore. If this is a new install or a new scale, you must have the model and serial number on there. You cannot install a new scale without the data plate on it. So we're only working with scales that were put in the 50s and stuff like that on this Howe Richardson here. Platform size, we'll just say 10 by 70. The type. Now, in this situation that I'm writing up here, you've got an old mechanical scale that is probably going to have like an S-type load cell on it going to the indicator, the electronic indicator. That is still considered a mechanical scale. Your two options are mechanical and electronic. Electronic would be a full digital scale, has load cells throughout the base. A mechanical would be a mechanical scale that has levers, beams, rods, stuff like that. Most of your older scales have been converted from dial and beam. They just put an S-type in there, like I said. So that would be considered a mechanical scale. So we're going to choose mechanical. The condition of the pit that's inside the pit, is it full of dirt? Is it good? Does it need cleaning? I'm just going to put OK for right now, but this is where you would make some notes. You would say dirty, just some basic one word, dirty, needs cleaning, just cleaned, something like that would be fine. Condition of the platform, this is the actual platform that the trucks or vehicles will be getting weighed on. And, a lot of older ones may have cracked up decks or something. If there's anything that needs to be addressed at that time, you need to note it here. I'm just going to put OK. And then condition of the approaches. What are the conditions of the approaches? I'll just put old right here. So that's it. Now you come down here into the actual section where you're going to be doing your calibration. You have the increasing load test as found and the increasing decreasing load test as left. So the first one's going to be as found. Typically, most people put their weights down on section 1. You don't have to do it. You can put it on the other section. Let's say this is a 5-section scale. So I'm going to put section 1. I'm just going to abbreviate section, and I'm going to say 1. You can type it all the way out. We have to see 0 at the beginning. So your applied weight will be 0. Your scale reading will be 0, and this error will be 0. You need to note it if it's any other way. Okay, on your applied weight, we're just going to go through this as a typical calibration. We'll say 4,000. We're going to say this was 4,000 pounds, so your error was 0. Next will be 8,000 pounds. Say your 8,000 pounds, error was 0. Next you'll say 12,000 pounds. We'll just say this one read 20 over. We'll say that one's plus 20. When the error is in the plus, you don't need to put a plus, but if it's in the negative, you do need to put a negative, just like that. That'd be fine. But when it's plus, you don't need to put that on there. 16,000. All right, and we're going to go up to 20,000 with this one. We'll say that one's plus 20 pounds. Okay. Now, you also need to show a decreasing load. So what we'll do is we'll say about halfway down, which is about 12,000 pounds, is decreasing. I'm going to say 12,000. It's repeated, so we'll give it the error. We're going to go down to, let's say, 4,000. And you always have to show your 0, returning to 0. All right. And there's your increasing, decreasing load test. All right, now we're going to come down. We're not going to put anything in here yet because we'll just say we're testing it as we're going along. And there's maybe something wrong in the sections, and we have to do some adjustment or repairs. Then the as left will be different. So we're going to come down here to the section. This is as found, and this is as left. We're going to start in the as found. What we'll do is we're going to simulate, like I said earlier, that we're using the test truck to weigh the sections. Let's just say your test truck weighs 44,700. All right, so you're going to come over here and you're going to choose scale indication. You're going to run section 1, so that's going to be 44,700. Let's say you come to section 2, 44,700. Section 3, 44,700. Section 4, 44,700. You're going to come back to section 1 and you're going to say 44. Let's just say it was within 20 pounds. It didn't repeat within 20 pounds. So there you go. We're going to give you a little bit of error there. All right. Then you're going to turn your truck around. You're going to go to section 5. So we'll say 44,700. All right. Then we're going to come back to section 4, 44,700. Section 3, 44,700. Section 2, 44,700. And you're going to go back to section 5, 44,700. All right. Now, here your error is you're going to have a 20-pound error. 0, 0, 0, and 0 error. Okay. Now, your next one is going to be your minimum weight. Out of these weights right here is what we're looking at. The minimum weight was 44,700. Your maximum weight, as you see right here, there's one of them that was a little high. So we're going to say 44,720. Now, your range is 20 pounds. All right, your balance change was 0. You went back to 0, okay? So there's no adjustments. This thing weighed great. It passed. So we're going to come up here in the as left and just say no adjustments. I can just say NA. You can write in no adjustments. Either way is fine. Now, you also have the device on this report in full compliance. Does it meet all the requirements, the state and federal local guidelines? If it's new, does it meet all the approach laws? Is it within tolerance? Does it have the coping? If it has a scoreboard, does it work? Do you have a good visual line of sight? There's a lot of Handbook 44 and state regulation guidelines that you need to look over to make sure it does. If it does, then you just come in here and you say the report was in full compliance. You just say yes. All right. The tolerance applied, you're going to be on this one. We're just doing maintenance, a routine check, so it's going to be considered maintenance tolerance. And then the action taken is going to be pass. All right. Next, there has to be something in the remarks section. You will not be able to upload the report at all if you do not have anything in the remarks section. So we're going to go in here. We're going to say pit was dirty. Cleaned pit and scale. You can just, any kind of comments there. You just need to make sure that you note anything. I always tell everybody, if you didn't make note of it, it didn't happen. So make sure you make good notes, and plenty of them. The owner-operator, will just say his name is Mike Smith. Okay. And there we're good to go. So first thing I want to do is I want to save it. I'm going to go in here, save it. Yes, I want to replace it. All right, now that it's done, I'm going to close this out and just double check it to make sure it saved it correctly. I'll come in here, open it up. Let me get this out of the way again. And there you go. Everything's filled out. And you're good to go. Well, that completes the filling out the vehicle skill test report. And we'll make some other videos on using weight buggies and all that a little later. Alright, thank you.